Hi and welcome to Southwest Herts Link4Growth Community TV. I'm Carol Dodsley, your host, and I have with me your district leader. I nearly forgot his name, Alex Murray. Alex, come and say hello. Oh dear, I don't think we have Alex with us. I can see him in my little film strip at the bottom, and he was chatting to me a few moments ago, but he seems to have disappeared. So he's not actually here with me. So hopefully he's going to come back in a minute and he's going to come and say hello to you because he has all the news, as you know. He shares where he's been this week. I know he'll be talking about the market because they got himself. I can see him moving again. Alex, are you with me?
I'm back.
Cool. Say hello to everybody.
Hi guys. Hi Carol. How are you?
Hi. I am feeling much better now I know that you're back with us because I really don't know anything about Southwest Herts.
It's fine. So I'm here to tell you and everyone else what's going on.
Exactly. So tell us where you've been.
It's been a quiet week, to be honest. I've been doing lots of stuff in terms of events. We've had events this week. I was back on the Watford Market as I always am on Saturdays with Chris. We just caught up with stuff again with the expansion Link4Growth. It means I don't have a lot of time with Chris, who is the regional district leader for Link4Growth, which is so if he helps bring our ideas back into the core team for Link4Growth. So it's good to catch up with him and let him know of my new ideas, things coming down from the core team. So we caught up then. I think that we just caught up and I went off. And then yesterday, on Thursday, we had a coffee in the Mercure Hotel, which is on the A41. Great little coffee, great 7 or 8 people there, really buzzing atmosphere. A lot of people, some people are back from holiday, some people have been just come back into Link4Growth, been away for a while. Lots of people have picked up from other areas that came to that event, and everyone started sharing ideas and tips to help people.
Awesome. So, and that is one of the things, you know, a lot of people say, well, why aren't these events like 50 or 60 people? But actually quite often smaller events, and it's the same with everything. A lot of people look at numbers in their business and numbers online, but when you go onto social platforms and you look at, well, how many people are following them? Oh, they must be important because they've got thousands. Whereas actually it's not about numbers, it's about quality of interaction and engagement, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always said size doesn't matter. So I've always thought that if there's 50 people and you've only got an hour, you've got very limited time to have deep and meaningful conversations with people. You've got about 30 seconds by the time the meeting opens, the meeting closes. So that talk to someone before you have to let them have their turn and give their 30 seconds spiel before you both move on to someone else. So you don't get time to kind of see how you can help people, just find out what this person is.
Yeah, exactly. And that is one of the things, you know, a lot of people, when a Link4Growth event starts to get too big, quite often you'll find that they'll get split into multiple events so that people again have the opportunity to be in a smaller environment. Not all the time, but that is done quite often, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're at a stage now when we've got enough events. We've got 10 events a month, so we don't need to look to split them yet. But in time, we know that some events we're going to split because they'll be too busy for us to talk to. So that's when I've got a little list of potential venues. That's when we can tap into that and be prepared to drop it in. But we're also at a stage when there's not much point launching many new events, coffee events, because we've got enough of those. It's about expanding in the other areas. So as we'll go on to later on, the curry nights, Sunday lunches, another drinks evening maybe.
Yeah, and I think those curry nights and Sunday lunches, they're really great because that's something that isn't out there very often, isn't it?
No, the curry night it will be the first of the kind. And again, the Sunday lunch, I can't think of anything else. I think both doing that. And then the curry is launched, and that's it in September. The Sunday lunch, I'm on a recce, a kind of scouting mission to a pub on Tuesday night. Just need to work out what time and who's going to be there with Chris and with the couple of people who are looking to host the event. Look at the venue, speak to the owner who I know quite well. So it's about just making sure he's happy, we're happy, the menu looks good. Do we have to pay for a table? Because with restaurants, they may say you may have to pay if you're booking 10 to 15 people, you may have to pay a cover charge. So it's about finding out what the requirements are, because of course, with all Link4Growth events, there's no fee. So how do we sort that out? Whether we can just give him a bit of publicity, he might do us a favour, we do him a favour. So I'm on a scouting mission, and that's next week's plan. Forgot about that, to be honest.
That's brilliant. And because Jerry was just sharing that she's actually talking at the moment to one of the charity coffee shops, and they're actually thinking of creating a sign language event to actually raise the awareness of sign language. And that all came from seeing something that's happening over in Canada or America. But it's really, what I love is that the district leaders, they pick up different ideas, maybe from something they've seen somewhere else that's given them inspiration, or they just come up with ideas to do something different.
Yeah, I mean, longer term, within no, not 6 months, maybe 3 months, I'm going to have less time, but this means two things. We're going to build a team, community hosts and community leaders who will do the day-to-day work and then host the events, meaning that my time can be spent more on building influence for people like Dorothy Thorne at the council, Richard Harrington, the Chamber of Commerce, and B, meaning when I am there, it's more of a kind of district leaders here. This is an important event. I'll go to that because we need to talk about him and find out more long-term Link4Growth. But also, I'm going to look to have a breakfast because Link4Growth in South West Herts hasn't got a breakfast, which is strange to me because breakfasts, we never had one. And I found a venue, again, it's just waiting till things can get put in place about when is a good day to have it and fitting it around other people's schedules. So a breakfast generally 8:30 to 10 or 8 till 9:30. So most people can do that before they go to work.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just getting that variety because Link4Growth is all about something for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have something, ideally, if you had something in the morning, coffee, a lunch, an afternoon tea, which is being talked about nationally, we haven't got anything planned that, and the drinks in the evening, you've got something of every time of the day, so you should be able to get to one of those events a week.
Yeah, exactly. So, have you been anywhere else this week, or is that the news of where you've been?
I mean, slightly unrelated to Link4Growth news, but I did go to a football match on Wednesday night. I went to Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan. It was one of the last pre-season games. But watching it, I was thinking, community spirit is here. We all have a community, whether we play sport. There's a group of people coming together for something. That's a community. And they're all passionate about something. So it's just about get people passionate about the local area. So watching it, it was a great atmosphere and there's great fans. And it's just about channeling people's passion back into the local community.
I love it. I love the way you said that, channeling people's passions back into the local community. That's great.
Because people are passionate about whatever things there is, sport, charities, their business, and if we can just help channel that back into where we live. A lot's happening in Watford with that, and I'll come to that in a minute, but it's just that I'm sitting there, all the fans are singing and chanting about the football clubs and whatever it is, and if we can just get these people passionate about where they live, the job will be so much easier to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about growing that community that people have for one topic or one thing and actually bringing all of that together to create a bigger community, isn't it?
Yeah, because most people think Link4Growth is just events and just these coffee mornings and occasional drinks. It's more than that. It's about, I always call it's an umbrella organisation. There's lots of different bits. And you may not ever go to an event, but you may get involved with the communities. You may watch all the TV stuff. You may want to just do that. You may just go on the social media training, and that benefits you because you may not be able to go to an event because there isn't one in your area. Well, you can sort that out to start with, but you said moving on. I started to stop myself. I'm going to get some bingo cards. Whenever certain phrases come up, you can stamp the card. A bit of bingo, but umbrella, yeah. So you may only do social media because you may only see that as beneficial for you. But kind of there's all these elements of Link4Growth that you don't have other organisations that do networking, and so it's more than just an event. Link4Growth.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not going to move on, but we're going to go to the next topic.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about some local news. Quite a lot happening in the local area, as always. I mean, kind of for a start, you've got until I think it's Sunday night at midnight when the Watford Women's Centre's photocopying closes. Loads of entries already, so if you've entered, great. But you can always you can enter more than once, so you've got more chance to win. The more entries you put, the more you win. So you're not limited to one. If you haven't, it's a great way of showcasing some of the great buildings there are in Watford and South West Herts, because it's not just limited to Watford. The Women's Centre work across the whole of South West Hertfordshire, so it's Rickmansworth, Bushy, up to Albert's Land. So all these areas, there's some great buildings. Lots. If you go outside of Watford, there's lots of untapped buildings because most people stayed in Watford and taken all the ones in there. So if you go out to Rickmansworth and Herts Langley and Bushy especially, then you can find all the ones that haven't been photographed yet. And you can win a couple of prizes. I know there's some social media stuff, there's some marketing strategy on there as well. So there's a great chance. So that closes Monday at midnight. And then I am then judging the competition with the Women's Centre and the Best of Watford on Wednesday, with the results to be announced at Link4Drinks on Thursday night.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll send you a copy of the winning photographs. We can share them here, but we thought, with it being Link4Drinks the next day, we thought we'll use that as a way of getting everyone who's entered to find out how they've got on, come to the event. It's a better way of just bringing traffic to the event.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really great.
And just on a side note, let's start more developments with Women's Centre. So in a couple of weeks, you'll hear things ticking along about new events for the course of the next 6 months. They've got about 6 month diary events, and can't say any more at the moment, but there'll be more developments on that coming soon.
Good stuff. I just love hearing when people have events, when they're planning things and when they're creating new things.
I thought Carol might go on here for a couple of sentences. I'll have a quick drink of water, but I was at a meeting today with them, being sworn to secrecy, so can't say much more than that until they've gone away, and there'll be an announcement in the next couple of weeks, I imagine, once it's gone through all the official channels. But it'll be a really good night if this goes ahead.
Awesome.
Yesterday, after the coffee, I went up onto the high street and got involved with the Great Britain High Street competition. I don't know if there's one going on in Grantham, but Watford has been entered into the Great British High Street competition, and it's just about promoting the high street, really. The high street is being redeveloped, as we all know. We've got the pond at one end, we've got the Met Quarter at the other, and as part of this, we've said Watford is entered into the competition. It's going to be judged on a few factors, kind of innovation, collaboration, and transition. So looking at how it used to be and how it is now, and hopefully at the end of the year, we're going to be awarded a prize. I believe it's about, you can share between a few of the winners £50,000. Then you get the support of businesses such as Boots and the Post Office, and I think Costa Coffee are involved as well, and as well as the prestige of winning the Great British High Street Award. So anytime you go to any of the shops on the high street, independents, use the hashtag GB High Street, and then let's just get the social media side running, because they look at the social media aspect of the competition and judge it not on that, but the more traffic we have, the bigger influence Watford has, the more well known it gets.
That's great. I think what we'll do afterwards, if you can go over to the event page afterwards and add these details in for people and that hashtag as well, Alex, that would be really great. And is there a website perhaps somewhere that tells everybody about the Great British High Street so that people can go and find their own local competition that's happening as well?
Yeah, I think if you just type in Great British High Street on Google, it'll come up. I'll put a link in the description once we format this, and I'll go in after this and sort it all out. So you can go there, the hashtag's on there, and then have a look on various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus less so, but especially Facebook and Twitter, they're judging the traffic and how often what gets mentioned alongside the hashtag.
Awesome. I think that's really great, because that's also doing similar to what we do by bringing on and offline together.
Yeah, and it's this idea of the high street, not necessarily buying local, but supporting your local high street. And in our high street especially, we've got soon to be 3 great independent coffee shops. The market obviously is going to be moving on to the high street, so there's lots of good shops there, and not the smaller ones that are part of the high street, and it's about supporting them and giving them a business. So rather going to X coffee shop or Y coffee shop, go and check out Ocean Bells or whichever one you want to pick. So it's about supporting them. They're all keen and supporting them as well.
Great.
Speaking of the market, and I was, markets is sure the picture is in the community. It's not the best picture because it was dark when I took it, or kind of cloudy when I took it, but it's being developed. They've got, I don't know if you've seen the kind of Shoreditch markets, they've got kind of container units.
No, I haven't. Tell me more about what container units are.
Kind of, container units like, if you go into the community, the L4G community, you can see a picture of them being redeveloped. Word is that the end of September, October is going to be when the market is launched. There's my face. That's a bit.
Hang on, nobody can see the screen share yet, so you carry on talking.
Yeah. So as you know, the Watford market is moving, and End of September, October is the provisional date. They talked about it has been delayed, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is delayed again. So keep that in mind. I mean, I'm back on the market tomorrow, so I will speak to some of the traders and find out about where we are, how have they been told about the market. Keep going. It was yesterday I put it up, so it'll be a bit further down. There it is. Off of it. That's it. So it's a bit dark, but.
Oh, we just lost it. Hang on.
Oh, well.
I need to go back to screen share.
Don't worry, we'll move on. It's fine. It's not a brilliant picture. I'll take it on tomorrow because it was a bit dark when I took it.
Okay, so it's a new market, and they're going to be like Is the whole market going to be inside the containers?
The containers are going to be the individual stalls, and there's going to be a two-story frame around it. So on the bottom is going to be all the market stalls, and on the top, I believe, is going to be a bigger restaurant area. So the actual kind of food product stall. So the sushi and Elle's Cafe is going to be in there, but the underneath in the containers are going to be the actual traditional market stalls as such.
So it's basically going to be like an indoor market that they're creating.
Yeah, it's going to be indoor, covered, but each of the individual containers are going to be the individual stalls. So it should be good. I mean, end of September, October. So being delayed for a while, but hopefully by then we would have helped promote them and got them involved with what we're doing. And so then the promotion should be easy because it's going to be a different time for them. Now, because when you go in the market, unfortunately, it's got empty and there are stalls closing every week, so there's less and less people going every week, so more stalls close, and so we need to get back into that cycle. So when it opens, we need to get people driving there, so the coffees on the market will help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be. It sounds really quite sort of. When you said about containers and indoor market, I sort of immediately thought of Barcelona. Not Barcelona. Oh, is it Barcelona? I think it might be Barcelona, where Les Rambles is, and they have it's like in an indoor, and each of those stores are sort of specific stores that are sat there in their own little areas, and it's a bit of a tin building that they're in, but it is an indoor market that really has a very continental feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, this one, they're looking at the more kind of the Shoreditch, Brixton, Brooklyn markets, so using the containers, a lot of metal, a lot of steel, kind of that modern feel. But I'll try and get some better pictures tomorrow. Hopefully the weather should be better, so I'll be able to take some better pictures, share them again, and then in time, once the market opens, of course, all the pictures are going up in the communities and stuff.
Brilliant.
As I mentioned last week, again, little travel warning for anyone going into London this weekend. There are no London Midland trains going to and from Euston, so if you're going to go into London, be aware of that. I don't believe there's any slow trains either, so best bet is probably go to Edgware or Stanmore or over Trail Street. So there's a little travel warning there, so if you end up going to Watford Junction, don't, because you won't get a train. You might be able to go north, you won't be able to go south.
I like the way you said, if you end up going to Watford, don't.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to specifically the Watford Junction, don't look to get a train south because they're not running because of the engineering works.
Yeah.
But just for people to know before, because the worst thing you want to do is get to a station and go, there's no trains, now what do we do?
Yeah, that's not very good, is it? So I think it's great that you find out that information for people, because a lot of people won't know about that. So what's happening next week?
I've got one more bit of news.
Oh, sorry.
One of our subscribers, a good friend, Catherine Baldwin, from the Michael Green Foundation, we had a catch up this week. A few bits, she sent me some stuff. I put a notice out on the community saying, find me over any news, any shout outs you want. She, of course, runs the Michael Green Foundation. She does all the social media stuff. Their supper night is on the 28th of September. That's a Sunday night over in Elstree, so £25 a ticket. I've got mine. There's a few people from Link4Growth going. I know Chris is doing a few things with them this week. He might talk about them tomorrow. And if you want to get involved with advertising, they're going to have a glossy brochure which is going to go out to everyone there, all 300 people at the event, plus there's a digital version which could have thousands of reach. So have a look at the website for more information about that and all the costings and what you have to do. And also found out yesterday at the coffee that on the 15th of November they've managed to bring in the Diabetes Roadshow bus to Watford. So have about more, rather than testing for diabetes, they're going to do a little awareness test and kind of what is your lifestyle like. So are you a big smoker? Are you a drinker? do you only eat junk food? And then they'll kind of give that a score, I believe, and then if your score is a certain level, they'll say maybe go and have a chat with the GP, or don't worry, you're fine, but keep an eye on it type thing.
Cool. No, I think that's great because it's a really good way of raising awareness of something that a lot of people have sort of heard about, but they don't really know in enough detail.
No, and that'd be good to just tidy up and just kind of, rather than testing people's blood for diabetes, it'd be more looking at their lifestyle, saying if you're a big drinker, if you're a smoker, do you eat unhealthy, what exercise? The kind of the main issues we always hear about health-related things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we got any comments, questions, shout-outs? No one. Oh, no one likes us today. It's a bit quiet.
Oh, hang on a minute. We do. Let me just read this out. Catherine Baldwin has... oh, thank you. Catherine's actually put the link for the High Street competition, and she's put the link to the Shoreditch Container Market. And this is how the new market in Watford will look like, she hopes.
There we go. You get a thumbs up from me.
We didn't see it. Do it again. There you go. Thanks, Catherine.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks for the information about the Michael Caine Foundation. I'd urge everyone to go. £25, 3-course meal, bit of a quiz, there's a raffle. All the information's on the website, so you can check that out. There's some prizes to be won, and I'm sure it'll be a great night. And supporting local charities who subscribe to Link4Growth, because they see the benefits of what Link4Growth can bring to the charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. A little bit of Link4Growth news before we kind of wrap up the show. Haven't said the 2 words I normally say at that point. I'm now conscious about it. It's quite an awkward. The Link4Growth book is available, guys. £12 on Amazon. I'll put a link out today and also in the event section, so you can go and buy that. I'll also have copies at events soon, and it'll be available on Kindle for different prices. So have a read of that. So if you've heard about Link4Growth, if you don't know exactly what it is, maybe you only watch the TV show, but you're part of the community, you've never been to an event, this be a way of finding out what Link4Growth stands for, what it believes in, why it's set up, how we organise, what we try and achieve, what the problems we want to solve. So it's a great way of finding out what it is. And then if you want to get involved, that's a way of doing it. So it's going to bring in new people into Link4Growth.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the book, you've read the book, and it's a very fascinating read. It's not a very sort of stuffy and, oh, we do this. It's not a bullet list of stuff. There's actually an awful lot more behind it. And I normally don't read books all the way through, but that one, once I started, it was like, I want to know more. So how did this come about?
Yeah, I mean, I read the first draft and was meant to be proofreading it. I forgot and just read it and went, oh, this is good. And I thought, that's actually not much good to anyone, because that's not me. I just read the book. Okay, here's the book. I forgot I had to actually proofread it. So if you're looking for a proofreader, I'm not the best person, because I'll go, yeah, it's a good book and enjoy it, but it's fairly, no, I don't know. But the book is out on Amazon, so I believe it's £12. Yeah, £12 I've written down here. £12 on Amazon. So, and then you can, I think it's free delivery as well, so it's pretty worth it. If you want a copy straight away, go and get it from there. But if you want to wait a few days, you can get one from me, or if you've got a Kindle, and imagine other tablet devices can come in time as well.
Yeah, they'll be coming. It's not on Kindle just yet, but it is on there as a hard copy at the moment, so you can actually order a physical copy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of half the Christmas presents bought already, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you're all having the Link4Growth book, and then something else as well, but you need to know what I'm going on about. But little bit of training update. Next week on Friday, there's a LinkedIn.
Oh, let me just stop you very quickly before you tell people about next week. Chris has just come into the comments section and said he should have a copy tomorrow, and there's a big batch coming next week, hopefully.
Brilliant. So, Christoph, is that me getting a copy of the book tomorrow, and so hopefully by the link to drink, so I might be getting. It sounds like I might be getting a copy tomorrow to kind of have a quick look through. But I'm looking forward to reading it in final state. So I've only read the first draft purposely to be able to read the last one and actually read it and actually understand and see how it's changed.
Yeah, exactly. I've read 2 of the drafts, and I did do a lot of editing and making notes as I was going through it. So I'm looking forward to reading it again without trying to look for any of the errors.
Yeah. training, as I was saying, 22nd of August, that's next Friday, is a LinkedIn half-day workshop. Not 100% sure of the time yet. There are some conflicting things. Some people are saying it's 10 till 12:30. Some are saying it's 2 to 4:30. I will get back to everyone when I know the correct time, because I'm meant to be on it. And if it's 10 to 12:30, it's fine. If it's 2 to 4:30, I might be in trouble, obviously, with the TV show. So I don't want to confirm until I know exactly. So I'll find out from HQ about when the time is and then get back to you all. But that'd be really good if you're using LinkedIn. If all you're doing is collecting names on there, it'd be good. I know I've been told it to be really beneficial for my career in law. I'm going to go on that one, and then probably look to do the accelerated learning program of that in the next few weeks as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get onto the LinkedIn one soon as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the training's going really well. I'm always stressing that you can't use each social media in the same way. They're all different. You wouldn't, if you're a cook, you wouldn't use a wok to slow cook a bit of meat because it's the wrong tool. So you wouldn't use Google Plus in the same way you would use Twitter because they're different.
Yeah, exactly. We had a really good Google Plus with Intent workshop yesterday, and everybody came away with lots of new ideas from that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was on the first ALP workshop, and it was very good to watch that. And obviously, you get told on the Google Plus, LinkedIn, Twitter, but no one tells you why you'd be on it. So it was good to be taught how you set up the profile effectively and keywords and certain things. I know, having people gone on there, I know Tony, a subscriber, he phoned me up last Friday, in fact, and said, "Can you have a quick look about where I?" So I typed in the promotional merchandise, sorry. And he's now, if you type in that, he's on one of his blog posts is second on that on Google search because of the power of Google Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was impressed with the training and stuff.
And Catherine has just put the link to the Link4Growth book on Amazon in. Catherine, you are amazing today. Thank you so much. And Chris has just said, that'll be my copy, Alex, not yours.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'll buy my own, it's all right. I'll contribute, be fine. Next week we've got a busy week. Of course, we've got Tuesday, we have Link Coffee event in the Watford Business Park in Croxley, 10, 11:30. I'll be there. I've got a few people have pulled in. There could be people from a couple of local charities. I know this time of year they're quieter than they sometimes are, so the Women's Centre may be there. A few other people might be there that I've managed to bring in, looking to grow this event. It's on the business park, so we should be getting all the people at the business park to come down for half an hour and find out. Parking is free, so don't have to worry about that. Because I know at some events people would say, I would go to the home, but parking's an issue. So I believe if you go to the reception desk and say, I'm here for the Link Coffee event, and they'll sort you out with parking, so you don't have to worry about that.
Great.
And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Thursday we've got Link for Drinks in Moon Underwater at 6 o'clock, and not sure at the time yet, but we'll announce the winners of the Watford Women's Centre photo competition around that, on that night, so probably at 8 o'clock.
Do you think you can do a video or a live hangout for that?
I can record it, and they've got Wi-Fi, so we could do a live hangout.
Because that would be really great to be able to do a live hangout in the Watford community so that people that can't come along to the event can actually watch the live hangout in the community.
Yeah, and you can come along to them, you can get on there, and I mean, they've got Wi-Fi, so I can take my laptop along and sort it all out. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah,
let's give it a go and see what happens. We'll try it. If not, then you can just record it and video it. But if we can, I think that would be quite fun to actually announce the winners live on air.
Yeah, that sounds good. I know they've got Wi-Fi, so we shouldn't with internet like we have sometimes before. I've watched a bit of the rover reporting, unless you've got a good Wi-Fi or 4G, you're going to have a patchy and you'll have the interference and stuff. So I'll look to do that and get that sorted out.
Awesome.
I've got one shout out, but before that, any last comments? Anyone else telling me off for anything I've done this week?
Not from me. I think you've covered everything, and I think I've given all my comments as you've gone along. I've shared all of the comments that have come in on the event, and in case people are wondering why I went like that, I've got my screen on a split screen, so I'm looking at Alex on one screen, and down the side I've got the comments from the event page so that I can feed those back, because I just realised then it looks a bit funny me going like this about something. Yeah,
I noted the first few times and knew kind of roughly what Carol was doing, but if you've never seen it before, you see this person pointing at the screen and kind of doing this. It's a bit weird. But I wanted to give someone who doesn't normally get a shout out on the show. It's actually you, Carol, because without the show, it would be me talking to an audience, and it would be like the football results, as sometimes they are, and it's just without you, the show really would go ahead. I'm bringing all the information, you do all the technological stuff, and it's just I want to give you a thanks, because otherwise it'd be me talking to a screen and I'd feel uncomfortable.
Oh, now you've got tears to my eye. Look, what a good job I haven't got makeup on today, because now you've made me cry. Thank you.
So, because otherwise I'll be talking to a screen and there'll be I'd have to learn all the technology side, and it just makes our job easier, I think, by someone hosting the TV shows. And if anyone didn't see it, I hosted last week's L4G News Update, and I really enjoyed it, but didn't do any of the technology stuff. So it's really important that a good TV host makes my job easier, makes Jerry's job easier, makes Chris's job easier. And it's just thought I'd give you a shout out.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think we should end it now before Carol starts to cry.